What's up, family? Daryl Bond, Motivi Media. Another motivational moment. When we last left off, we was talking. Um, I was explaining how I just, caught a third felony, and it was serious. Things was really finna go down, and um, I was out on bond, back out to Indy, and from the looks of things, from people on the outside looking in, my family and whatnot, they probably felt as if like, he, he done been in trouble before. This ain't nothing. He out now. Everything will be all right. But I knew it was something serious. I knew because I had caught the second felony, and it was basically the same felony, possession of a controlled substance. Now it's like I had graduated because it was intent to deliver. It was gonna be, the charges was in hands. So now I was looking at 6 to 30, but since I had just got off the other one, caught the blessing with the other one, and beat the little probation situation. Now that doubled. So 6 to 30 go 6 to 60, and I'm out, and I'm just looking at things as if like, man, I ain't. Hopefully they don't come with no big numbers, you know. And so what I did, I just went back to normal, just like I said, I always knew how to get a job and this and that. So I'm back in Indy. I'm fighting the case, going back and forth. Um, I get wifey pregnant. We finna have another child. Must have been on the night of conception that I came home from the county, because later on in the story, when I get ready to go to the joint, my son, my third son, was 3 months old when I left. But anyway, let me speedball into that to get to that point, to where I take that ride. While I was fighting the case, what I did was like, I need to look as good as I can. So I went and got a job. And how I ended up at this one job, I was at one job and we was like doing a training, and and I'm just ear hustling. We outside smoking squares, whatever. And somebody like, yeah, this company around the corner, they finna be hiring for like $3, $4 more. And he's like, yeah, they ain't open yet. I'm just ear hustling. So as soon as the little training get over, I speedball around the corner. I go around the corner, knock on the door. They ain't even up and running yet. I just knock on the door. Little secretary, office lady, she come to the door. I said, can I fill out an application? She said, well, we're not even really open for. She's like, what made you stop by? I was like, I don't know. I just heard y'all was, gonna be looking for people. Y'all was a new spot. And so she said, hold on, let me get somebody. So they went and got this guy, and he was over like the maintenance department. And so he come out. He asked me the same question, like, what made you just stop by out the blue? It was like a Tuesday or Wednesday. I said, well, I overheard that y'all was, I'm just trying to get a jump start, get an application in. He's like, well, I could use somebody now because it's some little odds and ends things, and I can't do everything. I'm on the phone, I'm doing this and that. He's like, I need a good assistant. So I caught a blessing. Went in there and, you know what I mean, got me a decent little job. First shift, all of that. Then I enrolled in school that night. I was going to Indiana Business College downtown. It wasn't an accredited school, but what did I care? I was just trying to make everything. I'm just trying to do everything I can because I know it's ugly. It's real ugly. In that 11 months that I was out fighting my case, that was the worst year of my life. And the whole time, nobody could see it. Nobody could notice it because on the surface, man, I'm going to school. I got a good job. Everything cool. But I can't sleep. I'm sleeping like 3, 4 hours a night because I'm knowing I'm finna go to the joint. And even though I've been throwing rocks at the penitentiary since I was 14 years old, I ain't never want them to catch one and tell me come on in. You know what I mean? So anyway, I know it's finna go down. I know it's finna go down. So I'm out there. Like I said, I can't sleep. So I'm living every day like it's my last. I'm in the club. I'm drinking. I'm mixing dark and light liquor, stuff that make you supposed to throw up. It ain't even giving me a buzz. You know, I'm in and out the house all day. I might get in at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I get up. I go to work at 6:30. I'm smoking a blunt on the lunch, smoking a blunt on the way to work. I mean, I just can't catch a buzz because in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's gonna go down. And so during that whole time, like I said, I got a 2 year old, 4 year old. These my sons, and then my daughters. They like 8. No, they 9 and 13. and everything normal at the house with them and with the whole structure of the pattern of how we moving, but I'm just like living every day like it's the last. And so lo and behold, I'm a speedball and get on up to it. I first hollered at the lawyer, and he like, man, they talking 15. I'm like, that sounds horrible. You know what I'm saying? 15 to 7.5. I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to do that. So we get another court date because we going to court like, seem like every 2 months or so. And I get another court date. He talking about, man, I can get him down to 13. And he was a good lawyer, but you know, he was also a public defender. And that's where we originally met when I was in the county. He got my bond reduced. You know what I'm saying? I took the bond receipt and went and hired him with the bond receipt. And a lot of cats, if you don't know that, hopefully you never get in that situation. But you can always take the bond receipt. If you bond out of jail, that bond receipt is basically like cash. You take that bond receipt, you get you a lawyer, you ain't even got to come out of pocket. That's just some free game. Hopefully you never have to use it. But anyway, I ain't like how he was, you know, he had a big caseload. You know, I wasn't his only customer. So even though he was a good lawyer, I said, no, I'm going to fire him. Plus, I'm trying to prolong it. So if I get another lawyer, you know, we go back to square one. Maybe I can drag this out as long as possible. That was kind of my goal in here. So I ended up hiring somebody I knew, you know, a brother. He had just graduated from law school. That may or may not have been the best decision. But anyway, at least it's somebody I can kind of communicate with a little bit better. So what it turned out to be is basically I was just telling him what to say. He wasn't really, you know, he was young, you know. And so long story short, uh, it's dwindling down. I'm still working, going to school, you know, I'm coming up in court, you know, button down shirts like I work at an office somewhere, you know, the whole nine. I'm using every tactic in my brain to try to get this as low as possible. Because what I did my own, you know, investigation, and I'm looking at it like, if I can get 8 years, then maybe I can get boot camp, and that's what I was shooting for. But keep in mind, they talking 6 to 60, and they looking at more like, you know, somewhere between 12 and 20, and do half of that, and none of that sounded great. All of the whole situation was horrible for me. So, but I know I'm going down. I know ain't no, and everybody in my family, they thinking this is just gonna be another smack on the wrist. I'm gonna get some probation, this and that. But nah, you know. So we go back to court. I'm going to court, and it's probably like, I don't know, September, and I've been fighting it since I got out in like uh, December. So here it is, September. It's a whole nother year. You know what I mean? I'm like 9 months into it, whatever. And they like, we give you 10 today. I said, today? I said, in my mind, I'm like, 10 don't even sound good. I'm trying to get to this 8. And they like, today, you know, this your last chance. And I said, man, I got my car in the parking deck. I got a family. I got to shut stuff down. I just can't take no time and go straight into handcuffs. I got to get my affairs in order. So they like, look, next court date, you going to tell your family and do everything you got to do. Because when you leave up out of here, it's going down. You getting sentenced. You leaving here in handcuffs, and you know what I'm saying? You headed to the penitentiary. So I go break the news to the family. You know, now we hanging a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Because we between Peoria and Indianapolis, now we doing little stuff like, you know, gathering a little bit more. And I remember my daughter, you know, like I said, she was 9. She like, why are we doing all this family stuff? You know, what's going on? And I said, you know, now it's time to break it to the kids. You know, I said, hey, look, I'm finna go to jail for a while. And my daughter was like, what, you kill somebody? And I thought, you know, I'm a comical person, so my kids is comical and all of that. You know, we always had a good, and we just laughed and all of that. That at 9 years old, that's what she thought. She thought, you know, I done something to somebody, and I'm like, wow. But anyway, so now the kids know, and they're, you know, I mean, it's like pizza every night. You know what I mean? I'm just kicking it with the family, and I'm realizing all the things that I thought was important. This was what was important. You know, me being a father which I thought I was being, but you know, I took the wrong choices. And so here it go. We come down to it. You know what I mean? I'm finna go to court December 15th. It's, you know, days before Christmas. I ain't focused on no Christmas. I'm, hey, you know, making whatever little moves, shutting down stuff, this and that. Not to go into too many details, but I remember going home, you know, finna get sentenced, and I'm trying to put on a tie. I didn't even know how to tie a tie. Didn't even know how to tie a tie. And uh, I called my cousin, and I'm like, hey, you know how? He like, yeah, yeah, come by. You know, a whole time, man, I didn't went and grabbed some food. We got a bottle. You know, I come by his crib. Me and wifey, we riding. We got a bottle. You know what I'm saying? We kicking it like this the last minute. So this is what I want to do. And so, a couple guys over his crib. You know what I'm saying? I pull up suited and booted, and they looking like, man, you finna. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm finna get sentenced today, dog. It's over with. You know, we smoke this and that. I go to court. My whole family up in there. You know, auntie, cousins. You know what I'm saying? My mama, my daddy. Of course, no, we ain't bringing the kids into no function like that. But wifey was there, all of that. You know, we together. My brother tied my tie in the hallway of the court, um, and I'm sitting there, and the judge basically said, uh, "Mr. Bond, you know, because I'm getting sentenced by a judge, not by 12, because I already know I'm guilty. Ain't no sense in me trying to, you know, fight this part and that part and, you know, whatever." So I'm getting sentenced by the judge, and he like, sir, you know what I mean? Like, Mr. Bond, you got all these people here with you. You know, this is kind of a tough case for me. I didn't watch you come in here basically for the last year, and you know, you portray this role as if you shouldn't be in here. You know, you try to hold yourself to a different caliber of a person. He was like, and then your preliminary, because they do like a little preliminary where you go like, kind of do like a little hearing with somebody in the office. They asking you basic questions, you know, about your life, how you grew up, this and that, blah 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 blah. And so he like, even in your preliminary hearing, you know, you seem like you had an option to you seem like you come from a decent household, like you had choices, and you seem like a smart guy, you know, and you showing me, you know, have somebody verify you at the job. You had somebody, you know, you sending your school transcripts. He like, and I think you smart. He said, but you appear to use your smart to do wrong. And he like, you got all your family here, and I'm sure they don't know the extent of the person that you are. He said, because I got all of this stuff, all of these letters, all of this good stuff. He said, but then I got the state over here, and they got a file on you, and it's thick. He's like, all type of driving on suspended, fleeing in the looting, uh, um, trespassing in projects, and all of this and that, plus a few felonies. He like, and you know, you wasn't coming to court, and you know, blah blah blah, and you just got stacked up. He was like, and you want me, you know, court is asking me to choose what I think is fair for you. And he was like, and one thing I've come to realize with thinking about all of this is whatever I give him, he gonna make the best of it. Because you appear to make the best of whatever it is that you're doing. He was like, so with that being said, 12 years, Mr. Bond. Sends you to 12 years. And I hope you take this 12 years, this time, and make the best of it. And I'm like, wow. You know, I'm standing there, my family behind me. I hear the oh no's and the oh, you know, all of that. And I'm really looking like, that's it. That's all you gonna give me for all this? Because only me and God know all the other things I done got away with. You know what I mean? In this city. Because, you know, I was just looking at it like, hey, I knew what type of dude I was. And they had told me 10s. And, you know, initially when I came up in there, it was 15, you know, early in the days. So 12 do 6. You know, no good time, no nothing. 12 do 6. And from there, they took me out in handcuffs. And that was it. That was the end of the streets. And it was a big weight off my chest. I know that sounds crazy. That got to sound crazy to anybody, but it was a huge weight off my chest. Not that I wanted the 12. It was just the unknown. The unknown for 11 months, being out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying, working, going to school, looking at my little kids, looking at all these set of eyes and not knowing how long I'm going to be gone, you know. And so now they give me 12. And in my mind, in my heart of hearts, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I was a selfish guy. So selfishly, I was like, man, this is bad for me, but it could have been worse. And, you know, it was a shock. It was a shock. I went to the county straight from there. You know, hopefully nobody had to go through this, but if you're curious, which I'm sure a lot of people is, just especially if you know you ain't never been down that road, you wonder how it go. Yeah, they take you to the county, and in our county, uh, you know, our bus leave out on Thursday. This was a Friday. And so I got to sit in the county for a few days until the bus get ready to go to send you to the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying, which is Statesville. Uh, Statesville is in Joliet. Everybody north of Springfield, Illinois, so the top half of Illinois, they all go to NRC, which is Statesville Receiving up in Joliet. And so, um, you know, I'm in there and got with a brother who I knew from the streets, and he got a little prayer group. So from there, you know, and I grew up in a Catholic school. I went to Catholic school 6 years of my life, so I knew the golden rule, 10 Commandments. That was like, you had to know that if you was even gonna pass. So all of that stuff was already kind of structured in me. And so I got with him, you know, we having prayer and this and that. He fighting the case, and you know what I'm saying, I just got my time. And you know, in the county, everybody same way. I was out in the streets. You fighting the unknown. So speedball up to it's time to go to the joint. You know, um, we go on Thursdays and out of Peoria County, and somewhere like Cook County. Oh, they going every day. They going there. They probably got 7, 8 buses Monday through Friday because it's the county's so big, so much going on. And anyway, we gets up there, and they call you for the bus about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Get your stuff, get you on the bus. You shackled up, chained up, all of that, like you see in the movies. You jump on the bus, you ride up there, and yeah, I mean, you're about to enter hell, and this is what you wanted, and you on a bus, finna go up in the hill, and once, like I said, it's other counties coming too. It ain't just our county. It ain't no special day. Um, so once they get you up in the gate, it's plenty of land. You just up there waiting in the bus, shackled up. You can't see nothing on the bus. The bus got um, the it's caged up basically with tent, and you can't see. You see just like a cracker of the sky. And so we get up in there, and they run us through bullpens. They get us out, get us in the little bullpen, take the cuffs off. Okay, it's cool, this and that, blah blah blah. Then they just, man, it's like they just got you dizzy. It's just a bunch of y'all, and they just walking you through like herd of cattle. Strip your clothes off, turn around, cough, this and that, woo woo woo. Let me see your mouth, let me see your tongue, lift your ears up. All of this stuff. I ain't, you can just imagine. And then they throw you some little clothes, a little bag with some little toothpaste and whatever you need, little hygiene stuff. And next thing you know, throw you in a cell. And it's like super max. So you finna be up in there until your name is called. And basically you up in there, it's like 10 tiers high. I think I was on like 7 or 8, 6. I'm almost at the top. Um, like I said, I was almost dizzy, so everything was kind of a blur. Cause you dealing with your own stuff, and it ain't like I'm just in there with. I mean, it's everybody. Whether you got a year or you just got 100 years. And if you want to act up or you want to take your frustrations out or you want to bump shoulders with somebody, they got some big correctional guards that give you that business. And I don't know where they got these cats from, because all of them like 6'2" plus. 6'2", 6'3", 6. They need to be on the football team. And man, and I saw one cat, me and him, we was kind of, you could tell he had a grudge on his shoulder, and I did too. You know what I'm saying? I just got 12. I don't want to do this. I want to be at home. It's Christmas time. But he got a grudge on his shoulder, and so I hear him tell somebody, they ask him, "You got a problem?" He's like, "Man, it's whatever, man. I just got 58 years." So I'm like, "Whoa, yeah, he got a problem because mine sounds sweet now. He just got 58 out of 100." So he telling the correctional guard, "Yeah, he got a problem." Oh man, they roughed him up in like 12 seconds. It was quick, and then carried him out of there. You know what I'm saying? Hog tied. So they were setting examples. So anyway, by the time you got up to your room, you dizzy. They shove a little meal. They come open a little chuckle, slow you a little meal. Bam, it's over with. Uh, and I'm gonna just kind of speedball because it's so many stories within stories within stories within stories. But and I'm not trying to focus on none of that. I'm trying to focus on how I changed and how somebody else can make a change. So I go from there. They finally call my name, and every night they call like a little lottery to where letting you know, like, hey, you leaving tomorrow. This the joint you going to. So every night, I'm sitting there waiting, and what it is, it's like a processor center. They trying to figure out what type of inmate you're gonna be to figure out what type of prison they need to send you to. So lo and behold, my name get called. They send me to a farm. A farm is like you on the side of a maximum penitentiary, but you're not on the maximum penitentiary side. You on the other side where they call it the farm, to where you gonna basically be assisting the prisoners that's on the maximum side. And so that's where I end up at. And a lot of times they was giving out jobs to where you going and passing out meals over there on the other side. Fortunately, I never saw that other side. And then it's also, you know, a double-edged sword. They sending you over there because they don't really know how you gonna get down. So you can go over there to that farm with like 20 years or less to do. So anybody who got 20 or less to do, they over there. We all over there. And if you act up, we're gonna send you over here where these boys over here got 100, and they acting up. They just they don't want to do right. So that's why I say it's a double-edged sword. You can be over here on the farm where it's kind of sweet, you're moving around this and that, but one false move, all they gotta do is walk you across the other gate. And so I'm over there on the farm, and I had never done nothing more than about 90 days, and I'm in there, and it's cold, it's wintertime. I done missed Christmas, New Year's, but this gonna be my life. But I'm just sitting there like in a state of shock, and I'm sitting on the bunk, and my cellie, he had 14, so we kind of in the same boat, and do half or whatever. So we kind of the same boat, but he work over there on the other side. I done got enrolled into a little drug program just to try to keep from having to go to work. I'm on some school stuff and all out the gate. I'm not trying to be working for nobody if I ain't got to, not up in no penitentiary. So anyway, um, I'm just sitting there, kind of in the daze, acting as if I'm in the county jail, acting as if, they finna come get me at some moment. And my celly used to be like, "Man, you ain't gonna go buy TV, nothing." I'm just in there. I went and bought some sweats, stuff to keep me warm, hat, gloves, stuff like that, socks, all of that. He like, "Man, I see you got the money. You ain't buying nothing, man. I'm buying like candy bars and chips because that's all I was used to. Like when I was locked up, I ain't never like try to make no meal or nothing like that. I'm going to the chow hall. I ain't even really eating, and I was I'm always been a big boned dude, but I was, when I went in, I was big. You know what I'm saying? And so, anyway, long story short, one day it just clicked on me like, this where you live, this what you got to do, this what you need. You need. So I got up, and start bidding. And what I mean by that is like, this your home, man. This where you at. This what you got to do. When I got my TV, when I got things to make myself comfortable, lamp, start reading books, start going to the library. Anytime they call for any type of movement, whether it's church or yard, I'm outside. I had to block out the outside. I had to let all of that go. Like that's over with. This is your life. And it kept echoing to me what the judge has said. And the judge has said, you gotta make the best of it. So then I realized all that weight that was off of me from getting that time and, that year that I was out, I had to say to myself, what you gonna do when you go home? Who you gonna be? Now you ain't gotta worry about A, B, and C. You can start over. You don't have to be who you thought you was, because look where it got you. So I came to the end of myself. And to kind of get to an end to this, I remember I went to a church. Like I said, I was just trying to move around, get out the cell as much as I can, because, get a little freedom. I was in my world I was living in. I moved around. I wasn't never at home. So being just sitting on a bunk all day just wasn't my thing. So I'm in church, and it was like a Wednesday night or something, and the white preacher, he was a good preacher. The fact that they even come in there and take their time out and go through all that security and all that to come in there and talk to, give up their time like that. I commend them. Even then and even now, looking back, those who do that. So he said, if you holding any resentment is for somebody in your heart, it's gonna be hard for God to bless you, because God looking for a contrite heart. And if you don't know what contrite means, it means something that can flow through. He looking for somebody pure, so he can use you. And so he said, if you feel that way towards somebody, talk to them, write it down, ask God for forgiveness for them and for you. And I had some issues with a person or two, not nobody who sent me there, not because like I said, hey, I ain't mad at you. Turned out to be a blessing for me. You kind of did me a favor. You know what I mean? A messed up favor, but in the end, it was a favor. Because, so I did that. And at that point, I just got a spiritual awakening. And I know a lot of cats, trust me, I was in there, it's the majority, they ain't trying to do right. When they get back, they got a plan, and I kind of had one. But after about year 4, I said, oh, no, because my plans was going to lead me back there. And after about 4 years, I said, man, I got to switch up plans, because I can't do this. Because I say this, jail is easy. Yeah, it's easy. It's what gets you is the emotional part. The emotional part tear your soul up. But all that other stuff, you ain't paying for no. I was somebody who was responsible out in the world. So having an apartment, a house, car, insurance, paying for this and that. That's what I did. So, but why I say jail is easy, it's like you ain't got no power bill, you ain't got no water bill, you ain't got no cell phone bill, you ain't got no bills. Somebody could send you $25 a week, and I was living good, off a little bit of nothing. And so that's why I say it's easy. They giving you 3 hots and a cot, and the rest is just on you. It's just a mental thing. It's just a mental thing. So it's about where you take your mind. And I was reading books and getting a spiritual understanding, and not only was I start moving, getting to understand the Lord and reading the Bible and all that. Because see what happened to me was I got broke down. I was at the end of myself. I was an arrogant individual. You know what I'm saying? I still got a little bit, of that on me, but it's more in line. But back then, oh man, you couldn't tell me nothing. You see what I'm saying? So it broke me down. I was at the end of myself. Because see, all roads meet at the same point. So an addict, a junkie, the thief, the rapist, the killer, the home invasion, all of y'all in the same boat. So how you gonna be any better than anybody else? Because look where you at. You know what I'm saying? One sin is all the same. You know what I'm saying? Now don't get me wrong. When you get behind them bars, whatever crime you committed, that's who you is. You see what I'm saying? That's how you label. So as soon as somebody get to holler at you, what you in for? You know what I'm saying? Oh man, retail theft. Oh, okay, you a petty thief. Home invasion. Okay, you a aggressive kick down the door at, you know what I'm saying, type of dude. You know what I'm saying? Right. Oh man, you need to hurry up and move around. You see what I'm saying? So you was getting money, you gonna get some money. You get what I'm saying? So and that's how, you know, the hierarchy of chains is in that situation, because once they strip you of your clothes and all of that and your chain and this and that, everybody got on the same little uniform. You know, 3 pair of pants. You'd be lucky if you got 3 pair of pants. 3 pair of pants, 3 shirts. That's what they're supposed to give you. Some socks. You know, they didn't. I was at a farm. They gave us some boots. Not everywhere give you some boots, but you're gonna get some karate shoes. You know, and if you done burnt your bread just on out there in the streets, that's all you got. But you know, you got somebody to care for you. You got some love. You know, you gonna get some mail. You know, you get a couple of dollars. Excuse me. You're gonna be able to, you know, be a little bit more comfortable during your stay. So yeah, I came to the end of myself, and the good thing about the word is that it'll break you down, introduce you to Jesus, and then he'll introduce you to yourself. And once you know self, you know others. And that was it. That was the basic breakdown. And I did that and came to the end of myself, got in the word, started trying to learn more about me and my ways, and seeing, you know, seeing the error in my ways. Because really, all of these people that I thought I was better than, just because I was out getting some money, I was like the root cause of them. Because most of them was coming back to somebody like me. You get what I'm saying? And it's probably some people in there that did one crime and got a bunch of time. I was doing crime every day. You know what I mean? For like 18 years. You know, not day to day. You know, because like I said, I was versatile. You know, I was like a chameleon. I might be working, I might got a pack. I might be doing both. It, whatever. You know, I'm just trying to keep some change. And so that was then. And I learned a lot, you know, just from being around that. First of all, that's where, you know, them places is full. I mean, that's why I was getting slaps on the wrist, because they overpopulated. It's a lot of people doing wrong, and they run out of bed space for them. So I'm like, man, when my time comes, so I just laid there on the bunk and wait for them to call my name for 6 years. But during the meantime, in between time, I was getting myself together. I was asking myself, the little boy in me, what did he want to be? Because now when you get out, you got an opportunity. I was 31 when I got sentenced. 31. With 6 years to do. I came home, I was 37. 37 years old. With 5 kids. And I was like, I got to do something different. You know, and while I was in there, these kids, they steady growing. I came home, my oldest daughter was grown. All I could do was write her. And I used to write my kids, and I tell them, I don't expect you to write back. I'm writing for me. I write them and tell them and talk to them just like I was right there in the house. At whatever age and stage they was at, what I thought they was going through, I talked to them about it. Right there on paper. And that's what I did. I wrote a lot of letters, you know, stating I ain't want no visits. For what? Why you got to go through that to come see me? I should be out there with you. You know, not saying I didn't get none. You know, in the 6 years I probably had, my brother was coming down. But he, you know, it was more like he was venting. You know, it was out of love, but you know, he was just coming down to vent. Like, man, you know, I'm somebody he could talk to. I'm somebody that could listen. You know, the same characteristics I got today, you know, I had then. You know, a lot of people confided in me. You know, I always been a good moral person. So my brother, he used to come down, and then you know, the kids, they visit once or twice. And my mother had to come down when I first got locked up because I had a job, and you know, I had the income tax coming, and she came, and you know, we did the little power attorney and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I said, hey, get that little change. You take some, put me about 500 on the books. I'm already straight. And but for the most part, I was in there working on me, mentally, physically, spiritually. And if it's somebody locked up and you trying to figure out what you gonna do when you get home, man, you need to be working on you. Why? You can't fix a train when it's rolling. It gotta be derailed. So for them 6 years, I was derailed. You know what I'm saying? I was off the tracks. So I was fixing myself, and I was learning about me and about others, and how to be a better version of me when I came home. And that 6 years, like I said, by year 4, let me add this before I close out. For anybody that's got some loved one in there, or hopefully you don't have to go there. Hopefully this will scare you. The hardest part about prison, the hardest part is when it get like October, November. Because see, all you're doing is watching TV. And around October, November, the commercials start to show things about family. Because Thanksgiving finna come, and then Christmas, then New Year, then Valentine's Day. See, these all love moments. And you up in there, and especially if you ain't getting no love while you in there, ain't nobody dropping you no card or nothing. Ain't nobody sent you nothing for your birthday. Ain't nobody, they just forgot about you. Oh man. That's the toughest part. That's why I said it's emotional. You know what I'm saying? It's the emotion part that's rough. Cause them months, oh man, they seem like they stretch. See, and then the weather bad. You can't go out there, get on the court, you know what I mean, or nothing, you know what I'm saying, run the yard. You can, but, only cats who didn't, you know what I'm saying, really dealing with that time, they go out there in any kind of weather, you know what I'm saying. I was one of them because I needed to, you know what I'm saying, I'm walking, I don't care how cold it is. But anyway, that's what kill you. That's what hurts you. That's what make it tough. It's them months. The months right there is the roughest ones because all it's showing on TV is pictures of family. Things that really don't cost nothing. You showing people getting together, they drinking, they eating, they everything happy and merry, and you know what I mean? And you in here locked up. And it's Thanksgiving and you finna try to go get you some noodles and rice and beans and roast beef and try to whip it up and really think you doing something, and you're just eating something different that you probably couldn't afford, to eat every week. I mean, because that's all you got. That's all you got. Ain't nothing up in there. Ain't no sense of getting on the phone and trying to call and making yourself, I just did my time. And I ain't speaking for nobody else, but I can tell you that's the roughest part. That's when a lot of fights and a lot of emotional things go on up in there, you know what I'm saying? Because cats is missing home, and they ain't going to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody dealing with something. So, with that being said, I want to say, you ain't got to be in jail to be doing time. Tupac said that. You ain't got to be in jail to be doing time. You could be out here in this world and you ain't came to the end of yourself. You gotta come to the end of yourself. You gotta be aware that you need to change. And change is constant. And so if you don't adapt to the change, then you denying yourself because you steady changing. You know what I'm saying? You steady changing. And you got to come to the end of yourself. Be aware that you need to change and take the necessary steps. Like I said, you ain't got to be in here. I mean, you ain't got to be in jail to be a need for change or to see the error in your ways. Because, see, if you keep denying something greater than yourself, you're going to come to the end of yourself. And I done seen people come to the end of themselves, and they still won't call on somebody greater than them. They still won't recognize the error in their ways. And man, you hear all kind of stories about the police shouldn't have pulled them over, or they cousin shouldn't have made it right. He should have went left. You know, I never blame nobody for anything I've been involved in, because when I point the finger, it's three pointing back at me. So I never blame nobody. I just always took the bitter with the sweet, and, just roll with it. Like, man, you know, we ain't gonna focus on the problem. We're gonna focus on the solution. And that's how I am today. And that's the root of me making these videos. Cause it's a lot of people, in addition to my W-2, I drive trucks. But in addition to that, I'm a life coach, personal consultant, motivational speaker. And there's a lot of people they tap into me because they got my number, and, they focus on the problem, and I'm trying to help them with the solution. Because that's what I do. In my life, your life, whoever life, I'm a problem solver. Always have been. Even when I was in the streets, hey, man, we ain't gonna focus on that, man. We're gonna rush on on the solution. We're gonna get to the solution. We ain't gonna be around here talking about the problem day by day. So I always been that way. I always been a person go straight to the solution. Man, we can't focus on the problem. So in your day to day, back to the youth, that's really where it's at, because we got to change this world we living in, man. All of this that's going on, man, it's just getting, man, it's to the point, it's one thing that the women got on the bonnets. Now these little dudes got on bonnets. Yeah, you know it, you see it. It's a mess. It's a mess. So you gotta, we gotta, I gotta, everybody need to. We need to stay aware, and we need to make a change. Because see, if we don't change, we can't change nothing around us. And if you in a situation where you trying to raise some little boys and they don't know what a man look like, you need to show them one. And I ain't talking about anything I say. I'm not saying it for me. I'm not trying to. I'm straight. I'm trying to share to help somebody. Because if I can do that, hey, because I just want to be a living testimony. I'm not on there for no likes or no shares or no, none of that. But if it come, I'm gonna take it. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to lie to myself or to you. But I'm not on here for that, because I'm making a living. But I feel like I want to be able to share. You know what I'm saying? And the prelude into the next video, I'm gonna really get down to the meat. You know what I'm saying? Because I came home with nothing. I mean, nothing. And today I got something. And I'm going to share some of them tips on what I did and how, but that first step was my spirit. I changed my heart and my mind. And I had to tell myself, you the problem. You need to fix you. Work on you. And then from there, I was walking around the joint knowing that God was going to bless me, because I was blessed in there. Didn't nobody touch me. Yeah, I had a couple rumbles, you know what I'm saying, while I was in there. Right side of my face got Bell palsy due to, I don't know, I went to the dentist, I played ball, got in a fight all in one day. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I was blessed. Blessed. Well, man, like Daniel in the lion den, I was blessed. And so I knew if I was blessed in there, when I got out here, I was going to be golden. And that's how I used to talk. And didn't nobody want to talk to me or walk with me, because I was talking like I had $1 million. And they used to ask cats from Peoria, dude talk as if like he's straight. Cats like, oh man, he was eating when he was out there. I don't know what he got. Now, what I had and what I still got is the Lord on my side. He ain't on my side. I'm on his side. Let me rephrase that. I'm on his side. I'm walking with him. He ain't walking with me. I'm walking with him. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I got. And from there, sky's the limit. Because he said, I'll go before you, make a place for you, be with you, and have your back. Now, ain't nobody ain't no person living could tell me something like that. That you'll prepare a place for me before I get there. And you will be with me, and you will have my back the whole way. And I learned that. Man, I'm not waiting on nobody else to tell me what God got for me. I'm going to tap into God myself. And that's what I had, you know what I'm saying? A personal relationship. I realized the error of my ways, came to the end of myself, changed my life. And since then, I've been on his side. And I was blessed in there. And when I got out, I got blessed. So I just ran through them 6 years because, like I said, it's a story in between stories. I got stories for days. And you know what I'm saying? Anybody know me like, oh, man, he love to talk. You know, but I ain't talking to everybody no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to y'all now. Anybody want to listen, want to tap in, want to get some free game? That's what I'm talking to, because all these other people I was talking to, they wasn't listening. They was just enjoying, you know, they was just enjoying the conversation. Something to get them a smile, a grin, blah, 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 blah. And they go on back to whatever they was doing. And see, I can't keep doing that. I can't keep talking to you and you living in your problem and you not focusing on the solution that I just gave you. Because if we going to be hanging out, I'm living in a solution world. I'm eating like I'm off a solution world. You get what I'm saying? I'm not stuck over here. I'm not stuck saying, hey, I went to the joint and blah, 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 blah. You know, I can't have this and that, blah, blah. No. You have to tell me no. Because in my mind, it's yes. Until you tell me no. So, with that, went a little longer than I probably planned on, but, you know, it was needed. I just move in the spirit. When something comes to me, I just give it to y'all. You know, sometimes I'm at the crib. Sometimes I'm in my car. Sometimes I'm, you know, on my lunch break in my truck. Wherever the spirit moves me, you know, I got my phone. I'm going to go on and give y'all something because, like I said, I'm a living testimony. Today, my past, present, and hopefully my future. You know what I'm saying? So I share these stories to tell you where I've been, what I've been through. You never know you can get through something till you got to go through it. So let's make a change. Let's live. Let's live a positive life. Let's look how we should look. Let's care about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I done said enough for today. The prelude into the next conversation, I want to get past the joint because I don't want to, you know, reflect on nothing negative. But I want to move on to where I had to start from zero. And that way, if somebody is locked up, whether they locked up in the joint, locked up out here on the streets mentally, whatever, I'm going to show you some basic things that you could do that I did with nothing to and get somewhere. Because we making it difficult, and it's not difficult. We just lazy. We just lazy and don't want to do the work. You know what I'm saying? We looking for some microwave when we already know the best food is on Thanksgiving and Christmas because it's put in the oven and it's cooked all night. So you're going to have to do the same thing with yourself. It ain't no microwave solution. It may hurt. It may hurt some people. But in order to better yourself and get a better surroundings, better life, you know, when you're going to have to do the hard work. And you're going to have to go through the time that it's going to take. Because it didn't happen overnight. So it ain't going to change overnight. With that, I'm out. I'll holler at y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for locking in with me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing whatever you did. Thanks for having an open mind, open heart. You know, like I said, once again, God looking for a contrite heart. You know what I'm saying? If you hating or you know what I'm saying, you know what you do. You know who you is. If you got all of that built up in you, it's going to be hard for him to bless you. You missing your blessings. You blocking your blessings due to your feelings. So with that, I'm out. Always keep that serenity prayer in your head, on your lip, on your heart. And see you next time.